CrossFit and really in a lot of other barbell-natured sports, we look at pushing and pulling at the upper extremities from vertical in nature to horizontal in nature. And especially in CrossFit, we're really missing one huge component. Yeah, we're getting a press in the horizontal plane, we're getting a press in the vertical plane, and we're definitely getting a lot of pulls in the vertical plane. But the big box that we're missing in that 2x2 matrix is the horizontal pull, so also known as the row. So the way that this changes up the mechanism of the motion at the shoulder girdle is really important to understand. So as you're coming to a vertical pull, you're going to be using your lats and all your back muscles. It's actually going to be creating an internal rotated moment at the glenohumeral joint, which is the true shoulder joint here. So that's not good when we throw a whole lot of volume on it, but having it be part of the sport, we have to deal with it in some sort of way. The way that we do that, the way that we get out of that position, is by bringing the trajectory of the shoulder down into the horizontal plane and using this, an externally rotated moment, to try to negate those two things out, to have the shoulder better from a centrated position, but also from a performance enhancement and injury prevention standpoint by targeting some of the other musculature of the upper back. So two of the easiest ways that I teach this is in a CrossFit setting. We have bands. Most every single box is going to have kettlebells or dumbbells. So I'm going to show two variations here. The first is going to be a double band row off the rack. So we're going to take a neutral grip here. You know, some coaches can teach pronated, but for shoulder health, we really just want to get that shoulder joint as centrated as possible. So we're going to take neutral grip here. Your thumbs are going to be in an up position. I want the feet to be in an athletic stance. Canister is going to be active. Everything's going to be good at the core. And we're going to be pulling back with constant tension. So as you can see, my shoulder blades come out slightly to stretch the lat, pull back, hold as much tension as possible. So we can do this in a couple different ways. We can go more velocity-based movement. We can do constant tension to keep the time under tension higher. Or we can do accentuated holds, really to just get the tension going at the end range. So that's the first one. We're looking at really using a heavy enough band where you can get kind of near failure at about 8, 12, 15 reps. But an easier way to load up would be to use an actual loading implement. So we're going to move over to the bench here. Two ways you can do single arm dumbbell row. This is my preferred method for novices, is something called a 3-point stance. So the first one, contact with the shin at the bench. Your ankle crease is going to be right up on the edge of the bench here to gain more stability. You're going to have this hand down, centrated shoulder position, this leg out to the side. The motion is going to be stabilized. The only segments moving are the shoulder, the thoracic spine, and the shoulder blade itself. So let's go through a couple reps here. So one of the big problems that I see on this one is people start going up with the elbow. So as we go up with the elbow, you can clearly see my shoulder go into internal rotation. That's what we want to be avoiding here. So the way that we cue this without hitting this is that we're going to have an arcing moment to the row. So as we stretch down, we're going to let the shoulder blade protract out. And as we pull back, it's going to retract back. But you're shooting to hit the dumbbell right on your hip. So you're not cueing the elbow up, you're cueing dumbbell back. And that's going to hold a lot of tension in the lower back. Second one, if this isn't an option, you can get any elevated surface up. You can split your stance, use arm support, exactly the same, making sure you have that arcing moment to the dumbbell.